Okay, well, at least the camera's facing the right direction. Now we just got to figure out, don't want it that way. Don't want it to show this. So let me fix this a little bit. Okay, it's picking up. It's picking up my, that's not changing it. Move my camera out a little bit. I don't know why it's not.
It was just your tilting of the camera. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, but it's gotta move things around, ladies, and I'm not shutting it off to do that. So give me just a minute. I'm gonna get rid of this cord that's in our way. There we go. Now you can see all of this stuff up here, but that's okay. Get rid of the wire.
You just got to make sure you work at the top of your
Yeah.
mat.
Okay. Things are still wonky. Okay. That's better. Okay. All righty. Ladies, ladies, let me tell you, technology is not agreeing with me. Move these up into the screen a little bit. I did get a new light to work right over my glass mat, so you will see the glare here on each side. Hope that doesn't bother you. If it does, let me know in the chat and we'll get it taken care of. I will update the description in YouTube so that you've got the cutting dimensions that we're going to use today, because we're going to have fun. We're going to make a one sheet wonder. All right. So to start off with, Karen, you are the winner from last week's cards. So here are the two cards from last week. Be sure to make a comment with your name that you are called and not just your YouTube channel name. Because then I don't have any idea who that is, because all I have is just the channel name. I'm still waiting for someone to get back with me. Or did they? Nope, they did. I have to just go back into my messages and get their name and mailing address for the cards. All right, I want to bring your attention to the summer stamping class that I'm going to be having on June 28th. There is a limited seating of 8 participants, so don't wait. I've already got 2 seats filled, so that leaves only 6. We'll be making 3 cards, and we're going to be using the Lovely Garden designer series paper and the masks. And so there's a couple of ways that you can sign up for that. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email at SuzieQStamping@gmail.com, and I will be happy to send you the registration form. All right, so we've got that. Oh, guess what else is new, ladies? Aren't we excited? I am. The catalog went live this week. Yay. I am so happy that it is live and I can actually open the pages. You will notice that there is the two-toned cardstock. There's a whole page that shows all of the different colors of the two, well, not a whole page, half a page at least. But these are all of the two-toned cardstock colors that you can get. And you get 12 sheets of one color. Let's see, does it give us the option to buy a pack that is got multiple colors in it? I'm just going back here to our color family. Maybe I'm not to it yet. I'm still getting used to where my things are at in my catalog. Let's see. 2 tones of the same color on each side. You get 12 sheets of that. Looking here real quick to see. I don't guess they have an assortment of the 2 toned. But I'm sure that once you start working with the two-tone, you are going to love it because it does give a variation to your cards. Maybe perhaps tonight I may have a short little walkthrough of the catalog. That depends on how my camera's working, okay? But I'd like to do that with all of you ladies. So we might go ahead and go live tonight and do that. All right. So today's cards, we're making not 2 cards, but 4 cards. And I'm going to show you how simple it is to make 4 cards using only one sheet of 6x6 paper. So there's a card. Tell me if you see a mess up, okay? Because if you see a mess up, you might get a surprise. And there are the other cards. So 4 cards out of 1 sheet of 6x6 paper. So let me show you that. You use 2 pieces of 1 color cardstock. And in today's instance, we are using the pecan pie. I'm sorry, peach pie. Then you are going, so we have 1 sheet of the designer series paper. Dorothy's messing with my camera.
Well,
She doesn't like me to be crooked.
it's not that it's crooked, but you're working
I know.
down here,
Right.
and we can't see down here.
I know. So I'm going to bring my thing down here. Oops.
I hit a button. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay. We're going to bring this down here like so. This thing is just going to have to be there until I can figure out how to get rid of it because I don't have a long enough arm for my camera. One of these days, ladies, we are going to get this figured out, okay? All right, so we have our 1 piece of designer series paper. We have 2 strips, and this is the Secret Storm. Is that what it is? Secret Sea.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, Secret Sea is my dark blue. And then I have the cloud cover. I have 1 piece of cardstock that we're going to cut into 4 pieces. I have 1 piece of basic white. And then I have 2 of my peach pie. And I'm going to show you how we're going to cut all of these so that it goes very, very quickly. All right. We're going to start with our cardstock. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Those things out of the way. And we are going to cut and score our first piece of peach pie. Why do I keep saying pecan pie? I guess because I'm hungering for a piece of pecan pie. All right, so for the first one here, we're going to put it in here and score it at 4 1/4. Move my cutting blade out of the way. So 4 1/4. And then we're going to rotate it and we're going to cut this at 5 1/2. So that gives me 2 card bases. Now I'm going to bring in my next peach pie. We're going to score it at 5 1/2 and rotate it and cut it at 4 1/4. So that gives us 2 different layouts for our cards. We'll fold those in a minute. We're going to go ahead and finish cutting our paper. For our inside pieces of white, we're going to cut those at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we'll cut 4 of those. And if you do all of this at one time, then when you go to assemble your cards, fast and easy, I'm telling you. I did this morning, ladies. So here's our other half of our basic white. So that's 5 1/4, and I'm just throwing my scraps away by 4 inches. paper doesn't want to slide. Four inches. So there is our 4 inside pieces. And one of them didn't get cut down right. Well, what is, 4 inches, not 4 1/4. So that one still had an extra 1/4 of a piece, and I didn't, or 1/4 of an inch. So there's our 4 white pieces. Now we're going to come in with that cloud cover, and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to cut it at 5 1/4. No, we're going to cut it at 4 inches this way. And then at 5 1/4. So these are just your regular card layers that you normally work with. So there's nothing too trick about that. And then 4 inches. So we're cutting off 1/2 of an inch there. We may keep that piece. We could do something with that later. And by 5 1/4. 5 1/4. All right. So for the last couple weeks, I've tried going live at noon for my Thursday class, and it doesn't seem to be working with a lot of people's schedules. So I believe next week we will go back to our 7 o'clock time slot on Thursday nights. Because I would like to have participation and not me just talking to myself. All right, now let's get our 6 by 6 piece of pattern paper. And here is a guide, okay? This is what it's going to be. You start out with a 6 by 6 piece of paper, and our first cut is going to be at 2 inches. I'll go up here to the top so that y'all can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. And this strip here now is going to be cut down to 5 1/4. Okay. This little piece here, it's a scrap. I don't want to hear of any of you keeping that. Okay. So now we have a 2 inch by 5 1/4 inch strip. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it at 4 inches. So there is our 4 inch by 4 inch. And then this piece, it leaves you a 4 inch by 2 inch piece. We're going to use that. And now for our 4 by 4 square, we're going to take and cut that diagonally. And we're going to cut it with from the right upper corner to the left lower corner. You're just going to place your points in that cut strips. There we have it. So now we have all of our paper cut. Very easy to do. If I can get my trimmer back here out of the way. All right, so here's how we cut our paper from the 6 by 6 piece. Okay, and if you want, cut it out or use, like I did, a template. Okay, so here was my template, my 6 by 6 piece of paper. So just draw you out a template and then make your notes on that. Okay, and like I said, I will have this piece, or I will have this all written up for you. And I will just have to take a picture of this and add that into the comments. Okay. All right. So now that we've got all of those done, I went ahead and pre-die cut my dies. And these dies are from that lovely new set that is an online exclusive starting in May. And it has the 2 ovals in it. So I cut one out of peach pie and one out of white 4 times. All right. So I did that ahead of time just so that we would have those things all done. And there is a right side and a wrong side because these kind of embossed the same time. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp all of our happy birthdays at one time. Okay. See I'm not liking this, and I'm going to have to end up probably getting bifocals and make sure that I have all of my pieces the right direction. Don't know why it has dark spots. I'm going to see if I can get those erased because don't know why it has those. I probably really need to get a new cutting plate. That's probably the reason. All right, so here are my 4 ovals, and we're just going to stamp with the happy birthday that comes from the loveliest tree set. And we're just going to stamp all of these at one time. So you can make a really nice set of birthday cards or thank you cards. You can use whatever sentiment on the front that you would like. I'm just making these birthday cards for you. Okay, so we have our 4 birthdays stamped. Set that off camera. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attach these all together so that those little pieces don't get lost on my messy desk. Come on, glue starts to flow. I'm thinking that it's going to need to be filled pretty quick. All right, so we're just going to line these up. 1. So how has everybody been doing this last week? We have been busy as usual. Life never seems to slow down for us. And I have a feeling that this summer is going to be busy. But that's okay. Being busy keeps me out of trouble. All right. So once we get these all attached, then we're going to start our other stamping so that we get that all out of the way and nothing's going to get extra ink on it. Okay. So we've got our four greetings on the front. Now we're going to take those pieces of white that we have, and we're going to stamp our inside greeting. And for this, I have used the Sweet Blooms stamps, which is this one right here. And I have got Have a Lovely Day. And I've put all of that on one block. Okay, so it's very easy. If you want to use several different stamps, just line them up on your block. I cover my glue before it gets clogged. And we're going to stamp this on the inside with the peach pie. So just make sure that you've got all of your stamps covered with ink. And I love this stamp because the lovely is on an angle, or you can put it on an angle. So there is one. Like I was saying, this, you could do this so easily and give it as a nice little token of appreciation to somebody, or for their birthday or whatever. And you can decorate your envelopes and include the envelopes with them. And it just makes a nice little set of cards. And you could do, instead of having all birthday cards, you could have a thank you card, a thinking of you card, a birthday card, just a note. Any sentiments that you want, you just choose your die cut or a punch that would fit your sentiment. Okay, so now we have all 4 of our inside greetings done. Now we're going to decorate the insides, and for that we're going to use Shy Shamrock and one of the flowers. We're going to use this stem and these 2 flowers from the Pretty Floral set. We're going to start with our Shy Shamrock. Get my piece of scratch paper out here, and we're going to stamp all of our stems first. I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm going to stamp it. So there's 1, and there's 2, 3, 4. Fast and simple, ladies. Okay, we're done with that color. We're going to now come in with the Secret Sea. And I know it's kind of dark, but it really does. It matches the paper. So we're going to start with our large flower, and we're going to stamp it, and we're going to stamp it off twice. 1, 2, and then we're going to stamp it on top of our stem. See how pretty that looks? So there's 1 done. 1, 2, 1, 2. So while we were on our trip to Florida, somebody threw a rock at me. It wasn't intentional, I'm sure. But it hit my windshield. So I have a crack, not a crack, but like a little spider thing in my windshield. So Safe Flight was supposed to come out today between 8 and noon to fix it. They haven't come out, and they're not going to come out today. They're going to come out tomorrow. So I love how they just decide when they're going to do something. Now I'm coming in with full strength for the inside of that flower. And because this is photopolymer, it makes it so easy to line up the center. So I'm just placing the bottom of that stamp right there, and it just stamps perfectly. I love this stamp set. All right. We are now done with all of our inking and stamping. So that was easy. We're looking for my cleaner. There it is. Because if I don't clean these, I will end up with ink on my elbows. I know I will. Those will just get stuck away. All right. So has anybody heard, is it supposed to be a nice weekend here in Lake of the Ozarks? I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to rain. Who knows? Can't wait for the rain to stop. I don't know about y'all, but here at the lake where I live at, we get inundated with little teeny tiny ants every spring because of the rain. Every spring. And they don't just stay in one spot of your house, they come to all corners of your house. It drives me crazy. Okay, now we're going to start with a piece of our, oh, before we do that, remember I said we had 2 strips that were a 1/2 inch by 8.5 inches long. You don't need them 8.5 inches long, but it was just easy measurements. So what you're going to do is you're going to now tear these 2 strips in half. You don't have to go real wonky. You can just tear it straight down. And by having it at the 8.5 inches long, then we know that they're going to fit. Because I had cut some and they were too short. Okay. Now you can tell the difference. Here is the side that is, it's ripped, but it doesn't have this torn paper look to it. You can see what I'm talking about when you tear your paper. So there's one piece, and we're going to flip this over to make our second piece. And we're going to do the same thing with this. And I made it a 1-inch strip simply because I was trying a 3/4 inch and it was almost too small to tear all in one shot. So we made it bigger. Okay, so now I have got 4 pieces of torn paper that we're going to use as a border for our strips of paper. All right. So let's start with this piece here. With this little piece that's 2 inches by 4 inches, we're going to take and put this piece down on our border, just like so. And like I said, it's going to be longer, so you can make sure that you've got it on there. We're going to just take a little bit of our glue and run a bead of glue right down here on our paper. And then we're going to line that up on our piece, just like that. We're going to set that piece aside. That one's done. Our other strip that is 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach this to one of those border pieces. Now, if you've got some of the pretty border dies, you can definitely cut your border, or if you have a border punch, you can do that. And I am going to just lay this piece down now, just like so, and let that piece dry. Now I'm going to come to my triangles. You do have to kind of watch your paper, and you may have to rearrange how it's going to go on your card so that, especially your angled ones, because not always will they lay down the same way as you think they will. So I'm going to take and put a bead of glue on this angle. But the fun thing is you have it laid out, and then you can lay it on your card front however you want. So here I'm going to lay my angle down, just like so. And don't worry, we're going to trim off all this extra seesaw or secret C. Duh. Don't want that yet. I want this. And now we're going to take this piece, do the same thing. I hope you all see how easy and fast this goes, because it is very easy. All right, now we're going to take this one and lay it down on our little border piece. Okay, So we have all of those. Now let's go ahead and fold our card bases. So we're going to take and fold our card bases. This is what they call the hot dog fold, I guess. I call it the landscape. Something sticky there. All right, so we have one that's setting like that. A second one that we're going to set like this. Oh, I forgot some great news. I have a new team member. I know a lot of my regulars will recognize the name. It's Anna from Florida. She joined Stampin' Up! Yesterday, and so she is now part of my team. And then we're going to have another card folded like that. Sometimes those score lines just aren't. You gotta make sure that you're getting them even. Okay, so now we can do a card that goes this way, and a card that goes this way, a card that opens this way, and a card that opens this way. Okay, so however you would like to do that. Before we put our insides in, though, we do have to make sure that we have our outsides right so that we know which direction they're going to go. And I forgot something, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. Because I didn't do that, ladies, so I may have to restamp another white piece. Would you cut me another piece of white square or inside? All right. Just one, because remember the one that opens up long ways, and I didn't stamp it that way. Thank you. We'll restamp that here in a minute. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. All right, so here is our first piece that we're going to put on our cloud cover piece. And like I said, we're going to trim off this extra. You could trim it off now if you wanted to, and that would be perfectly fine. But I like to make sure that I have it exactly where it needs to go. So I am going to put this right here, like so. Make sure everything is lined up on the back. And that's one reason why I do like the glue, because I can shift it around. All right, so now let's take our scissors. We're going to trim off this excess, like so. Just like that. And if you need to lift it up and put a little bit more glue, that is perfectly fine. That one seems to be just a little bit. See that little gap there? We're going to put some glue there. Okay. Those are scraps. Don't need those. And here's the reason why I needed another piece, because this would go funny. And for this particular piece or this particular card, we got to have it going this direction. So this one here is going to go up here in this corner. Whoops. I almost did the same thing I did with my examples. And that was, we're going to trim off a little bit of this. And that was to forget my layered piece. So we're going to put this one down on here, because I got so excited about laying it down. And play with your papers. It doesn't, you definitely do not have to lay them in the same direction that I am laying mine. Okay, so this one is going to lay like so. And we're going to flip it over and see how our lineup is. Very good. press that down, snip off that excess. We got a little wide down here at the bottom, but that's okay. Makes it unique. Okay, so now our next piece is going to go like, let's see, I almost messed it up again. We're going to go like so, and it's going to butt up right to the edge of our mat. So we will shake that glue down. And try different designs, okay? So take you a 6x6 piece of paper and kind of mentally draw your lines on it where you're going to cut it so that you kind of know how your layers are going to look. That one off, that one off. So we already have 3 cards matted, and now our 4th card is going to go like so. And you can dress these up if you wanted to. You could emboss this cloud cover layer that I have. You could run that through an embossing folder or even 4 different embossing folders if you wanted to. And it would give it a totally different look then. But we didn't want to get that in depth today. So there is our 4th one. All right, I'm going to get rid of all of these little sticky pieces here. They're not in our way. I'm going to come back in real quick. We're going to just lay these out and see how they're going to look. So I have that one. This paper sticking to me. We have that one with this inside. And then we have this one. And that's where I need to do my new inside piece. We have this one. And then we have this one. Okay, oops, I don't know why I put that on the inside. All right, let me go ahead and real quick stamp another inside. And it needs to go this direction. I think I have got a pinched nerve in my neck. Because when I go to stretch my right arm out, I get a shooting pain. It's not good. All right, so we're going to put this a little bit over here towards the right. Make sure my paper's straight. Okay, and now our flower. Bring back my scratch paper. There they are. All right, we're going to stamp our shamrock off. Stamp it down here. Done with that one. Come back in with our secret C. Stamp off once, twice. Here we go. And our dark color. There we go. Now we got them all going the right direction. I don't know why I didn't remember that before, but I didn't. Okay, let's clean these up real quick. So I would definitely stick my elbow in it or my fingers in it, and then I would get it onto my cards, and that wouldn't be good. All right. So our insides are stamped, our outsides are ready to be placed on there. So here we go. We're going to start with this one, and we're going to use our stamp and seal. I'm just going to lay down our stamp and seal here. Put this on your front. Inside piece. Yeah, it rained this morning here, but I think it might be clearing up for the day. I don't know. I hope so. I know the rain helps to wash the pollen away, but all right. That one is done. Not quite, but almost. All we have to do is our greeting on the front and our lovely embellishments, and then it will be done. I did go ahead beforehand, and I did tie my 4 bows, and I am using the retired peach pie ribbon from last year. The beige ribbon that we have, or that I had gotten, it just wasn't matching because I was using white. I have this thing about mixing beige and white. Some people don't have a problem, but I do. So there's number 2 done.
Personal preference.
It is a personal preference. And I haven't tried dyeing the basic beige. I may try dyeing it with my blends or some ink water. And that's where you put some ink drops from your re-inker into a little jar of water. There's 3 cards done. Whoops, not yet. Put this one in. So whoever comments the most, so the more comments you make, the more chances you'll get at receiving not just 2 cards, but 4 cards from this week. And if we have a tie, you each may get 2. All right, so now we have 1 more to put together. I don't know. And Dorothy and I worked for 2 hours this morning trying to get my sound going good. So hopefully my audio is better than last week's coffee chat and a card. That was terrible. And I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. I really honestly don't. But we worked this morning to get the audio fixed, and hopefully it is better. Okay. So now we have all of our cards completed. Now we're going to come in and get our birthday greetings. Now here again, you could, if you wanted to, use dimensionals. I'm going to forego the dimensionals and just put these all down. We're going to put that one right about there. We're going to get our second one. So how many of you have given cards, a set of cards, as a gift? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And we're going to put that one there. And even though these are all made using the same color of paper, they all look very uniquely different. And this one we're going to set this one off to the side a little bit, I think, and show some of those pretty blue flowers. Okay, you could put it right in the center if you wanted to, but I wanted to kind of showcase those flowers. So there we have our greetings are done. Now we're going to take some mini glue dots, or as I like to call them, the snot dots, and put our little bows on here. Now, I also like to put just a tad bit of glue on either side of that glue dot. That way the glue dot will stick instantly, but then the glue will dry. And that will just give it a little bit more stability. I'm wanting to use up all of these.
Patricia's from Alabama.
Well, hello, Patricia. Welcome today. You just kind of caught me towards the end, but please go back and watch the whole video. I would appreciate that. Let me know what you think about these cards. Okay, I'm just finishing them up. I'm putting on my little bows that I did tie prior to the video. And girls, oops, I forgot to do my dots on this one. I got carried away. If you have trouble making bows, and I know a lot of us do, invest in a little bow maker. You can go out on Amazon and just type in bow maker, and they're relatively cheap. They're not that expensive. I'll show you the one that I've had, and I've had it for years. But it makes tying bows so much easier, and they all kind of come out uniformed. Let's see if I can remember to do my snot dot first here on this one. And then my little tads of glue here. So Patricia, let me know how my audio is, because last week I was having issues with my audio, and so I've made some changes today. Let me know how my sound is. Okay. All right. So now I have my bows on all of my cards. Whoops. And now I'm going to come in with some of our embellishments. Did I put the cord back down? No. All right. So these are the 25, 27 in color flat pearls. So I didn't have enough of my Secret Sea. The cloud cover would be too light, but I kind of liked, and I asked for Dorothy's opinion. I think the Timid Tiger Orange would just kind of really make these pop. So that's the color that we're going to use for our gems today. Oops, that's not the side I want. I want my other side. So we're just going to put down some embellishments on here. We're going to kind of make these different. We're going to put one up there in that corner, the large one, and then we're going to come in with two small ones, or two medium ones, I should say, up in that corner. Okay, so that card is now completely finished. This one here, we're going to put a large one up here, and then we're going to put two down there. So I really think that Timid Tiger color orange kind of goes with this peach pie. I like it. All right. Let's do over here. We're going to do one up here in this corner, and then we're going to do one down here and there. And here we're going to go, whoops, I just picked up one of them. We're going to do one down here, and then two of the small ones like so. All right. If you want to use Wink Castella like Dorothy would, you are free to. I'm going to forego the Wink Castella. Patricia, Dorothy is my daughter, but she is also a team member, and she is my great assistant. So she is the moderator of our group. Yes, it is a one sheet wonder. And I will show you how the 6x6 paper got cut. So that is our 4 cards for today. I think they turned out really pretty. I hope you guys like them too. Okay. And they were made with the peach pie, the cloud cover, and then a piece of the pretty floral paper. I can't remember the name of it. All right, here is my diagram that I showed earlier. So here is my 6x6 piece of paper. We'll turn it this way. So the first cut is at 2 inches, where you're going to cut off 2 inches, and then you're going to make that strip 5 1/4. You can either cut off the bottom or you can cut off the top, whichever you prefer. Then the second piece you're going to cut off, you're going to rotate your piece and you're going to cut it at 2 inches. And then that's going to leave you with a 4x4 square. And then you will cut that in a diagonal. All right. And here is where you could cut it either this direction or you can cut it this direction, depending on how your paper looks. All right. So there again, there is our 4 cards. I think they turned out really cute today. It would make a very nice set of cards that you could put it in a little pocket that you made or a little box that you make. Hi, Charlene. Yes, you will have to watch it from the replay from the beginning. Okay. All right. Tomorrow is the second Friday. Is it? So we will have a coffee chat and a card in the morning. Dorothy's over here shaking her head, but I'm going to go live and do a coffee chat and card. She doesn't have to help me with that. That's a one-man show. She doesn't want to have to get up that early. Okay. But I enjoy doing my coffee chat and cards. So
You just had one last week.
I know, but I'd like to have one every Friday except the third Friday because that's when class day is. And I can't get that one done. All right. So we will do a coffee chat and a card in the morning at 10 o'clock. Grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, soda, whatever is your favorite beverage, and join me for another sketch card tomorrow. All right. You all have
what time is it tomorrow?
It's at 10 o'clock. So I go live at 10 o'clock, and that, Patricia, is on my Facebook page, is where I go. So it's Suzie Q Stamping.
Yeah, but can't we do it on?
Yes, I can.
Why don't we just do it on?
All right,
there?
I'm going to try to do it on YouTube tomorrow.
The reason I'm saying this is because we did it last year or last week on YouTube, and it had a funny sound.
Yeah.
So let's stick with our YouTube.
Okay.
Since we're moving everything video.
Okay, we're just going to move everything to YouTube. All right. She's making the decision. We're going to go live tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time for our coffee chat and a card. I'm excited. Patricia, I hope you can give it a shot tomorrow and come visit us. That's when we get to talk a little bit more and I answer more questions and stuff. So bring your questions and I will try to have answers for you. All right, everybody, you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.